So as most of you guys know, the new Superman movie just came out in cinemas, and I have of course seen it. I thought it was absolutely epic. All of the above, right? Again, my review of this film is on the channel. Go check it out if you haven't already. But one of the things that I actually walked out of the cinema really thinking is, what is the future of the DC universe going to be like? What is James Gunn been cooking? What has Peter Safran been cooking? What is coming soon? And one of the movies I continuously keep hearing about does happen to be the Clayface movie, written by Mike Flanagan, who is one of the better modern day, of course, horror directors, horror filmmakers, writers, all of the above. Again, he was actually, writing this Clayface film. It was being said that he actually was originally writing it for Matt Reeves' The Batman universe, but he was writing his film and he sent it into James Gunn, and the script must have been that good that James Gunn put this into early production over films that he had announced like a year or two prior, like The Authority, like the actual Batman DCU Brave and the Bold film, all of the above. Again, in today's video, we have a lot of news and updates to, of course, go over with this film that I thought would be really awesome and really interesting to, of course, talk about. Again, as I said earlier, it is being said that Clayface was originally planned for the Batman universe, but was moved to the DCU. I mean, this makes a whole lot of sense, considering Robert Pattinson's Batman is supposed to be much more grounded, much more realistic, all of the above. I think that having Clayface, of course, who's this big, massive sludge monster, could go into a more fantastical DC universe, which is going to have a more fantastical Batman, is definitely much, much for the best. It is also being said that Matt Reeves is still attached to produce this movie for DC. Most of the things that Matt Reeves has, of course, produced as well have been absolutely epic and, have been very good. Everything that Matt Reeves has legitimately been a part of has been really good. I think we all know this, and I think we all trust in Matt Reeves. Again, it is being said that Clayface in this film is Matt Hagen, merging his story with Basil Carlos. Again, I am not really familiar with, some of the origins to do with Clayface. I do know that Clayface, there's like 1,800 different interpretations on who Clayface is, and, a bunch of different characters that Clayface, of course, is. I mean, the reality is, as well, is that Clayface has taken different forms too. There are some forms where he's not this massive pile of sludge monster thing, and that he is like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's so much more underwhelming in my opinion than the massive sludge monster. Again, as we know, for the DCU, they are going with the massive sludge monster thing, which is exactly what they should be doing. It's exactly what the fans have been wanting. It's exactly what I have been wanting since I played Lego Batman on the DS all those years ago. So I'm very happy with that. It also says that Hagen is a rising Gotham actor, disfigured in an attack, who becomes a shape-shifting monster. Again, the interpretation I feel like I'm more accustomed with, again, is the actor whose looks start to fade a little bit, and he eventually, goes to a doctor, a surgeon, whatever it might be, gets a drug that, of course, gets his looks back up to their best, and then, as we know, he turns into the big sludge monster. I think this is also the interpretation they did with the new Batman Caped Crusader show, which was, of course, developed by Matt Reeves. But again, they're going in a little bit of a different direction here. Who has this Clayface disfigured in an attack? Now, what could this attack be? I'm not too sure. Could they somehow tie this into Batman or something like that, and maybe this gives a motive and a reason for Clayface to hate Batman? I'm not too sure. Again, there is a massive report here on everything we need to know, though. According to the Nexus Point News, Clayface is portrayed as Matt Hagen, combining elements of his comic origins with Basil Carlos' backstory. Hagen is a rising actor in Gotham who was disfigured in an attack, ruining his career and eventually turning into a shape-shifting monster. His love interest, Dr. Caitlin Bates, is an original character and the CEO of a biotech startup focused on cutting-edge medical technology. She wants to help Hagen and grow her company, but she also engaged to a detective who becomes suspicious of her relationship with Matt. The film's antagonist is a crime boss and an entirely original character. So I don't know if they're going to go in this type of direction where maybe, of course, the attack happens, he goes to his his doctor, who of course is his love interest, and maybe she's what turns him into, I don't know, this disfigured shape-shifting monster. Because the reality, in my opinion, is that if he gets into an attack, how does an attack turn him into a shape-shifting monster? Again, if I'm walking down the street, right, and some guy looks at me dead in the eye, tries and steals my pearls, which he probably won't do because I'm not a woman and I'm not, Martha Wayne, and he maybe just freaking stabs me or some shit, right? I'm gonna lay there waiting for the ambulance to come pick me up and save my life. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, holy shit, this guy just stabbed me. I'm gonna start turning into a shape-shifting monster all of a sudden. No, that's not really how that works at all. Again, maybe this guy gets attacked, gets cut multiple times on the face, gets kind of disfigured, and he's like, shit, I gotta go seek some help. Maybe, my love interest, who's an original character at a startup company, she's a doctor, maybe some of the research she's doing can help me out here. And that's, I'm guessing, how this is going to go. Again, the Clayface we've seen in the Creature Commando is a little bit different. I think he's like a grey version, really looks good. But I'm kind of hoping for this movie they go with the original golden, orangey looking sludge monster. I think that would be so epic, and they just gotta do it. You just gotta have the OG design. Again, the villain of this movie being a crime boss and an entirely original character, I don't know what that has to do with Clayface. I mean, in Flanagan, I trust, and I'm assuming he's going to cook here, but how does a crime boss, how is he going to intertwine in this story? Again, is Clayface going to be like an anti-hero in this? I mean, I sure hope not. I really hope he's what the Penguin is in the Batman. The Penguin in the Batman is a guy who you feel bad for because he is so bad looking and, has absolutely had to come out of the slums and do it extra tough. And you kind of feel bad for him and you empathize with him. But at the end of the day, he's 100% a villain and there is absolutely no good side of him or redeeming qualities of him whatsoever. And you guys would know that, especially if you've watched the show and the last episode. But I want that with Clayface. I do want there to be a lot where I can feel bad for this guy and I can embrace this guy as a man who is now turning into a massive sludge monster and he's disfigured, all of this type of stuff. But I want him to be a villain. I want him to be evil. I want him to take his shit on the world. I want him to be angry at the world for what has happened to him. And I want him to do bad things. It's just the reality of things. Clayface is a massive villain. He's not an anti-hero like Venom who will do some things for the good of his heart. Maybe he's got a little bit about that for him. But Clayface, for the most part, is usually a big villain. So I want to see that, and I need that to absolutely happen. Again, the big question on a lot of people's mind is the Batman going to be in this film? I'm not too sure. But what I would love is, for much of the fault of Suicide Squad, and that being a terrible film, Ben Affleck's Batman in that film and the short role he provides is actually really good. Again, in my opinion, I would love for there to be a tiny bit more though. I want the Batman in this film to be like a boogeyman character. Like a character who gets mentioned a lot throughout the film and a character who a lot of people are, looking over their shoulder to see if he's going to come. I want him to be a character that Clayface maybe is threatened by throughout this story and has second thoughts about what he does just in case the Batman comes up. Again, I think the Batman should be in this film. I don't think this is like the Penguin, where it can actually work without the Batman. I don't think it's like that at all. I think you do need the Batman in this film. And I mean, yeah, he's got to be in it in some way, shape, or form. And there has to be reason for him to be in this film, which I'm sure there will be. And I hope that's what they make him out to be, like a boogeyman character in this movie. So again, I'm very personally interested to see how this is going to go, how this is going to unfold, all of the above. I think it's going to be really good, and hopefully an awesome film that I'm definitely very excited to go and see. Again, don't forget to check out my sports channel, which will be linked down below, my Instagram, which will also be getting linked down below. Subscribe to this channel for all latest gaming and movie content, and I guess I'll be seeing you guys next time. Goodbye.